Hello, everyone. Good evening. And I really hope that everyone who's here have read the book. Soul of Remedies is completing 25 years this year, and it is one of the best materia medicas I have ever read in my entire career. We all read, Boric, Materia Medica, and Allen's and Patak and all that. But I feel that Soul of Remedies actually have, it's a sort of compilation from all the books which have, red line symptoms and confirmatory symptoms of the remedies. So it has the gist of all of those. If you read and what I really like about Soul of Remedies is it gives you a situational materia medica of a person. So you know how what is his situation, how he will react in certain circumstances, what is his response and why this response is like that. I mean, the why is also answered in the book. I just love this book because, in other materia medicas, you just read the symptom and you don't know why this symptom is there or what is the origin of this and how to differentiate. Suppose if you take an example of lycopodium. So lycopodium, carboveg, nux vomica, China, all these remedies are flatulence remedies. We know that there is incarcerated flatus, there is a lot of flatulence, this gastric symptoms are there. But why it is there, you don't get to know in Boric Materia Medica or Allen Materia Medica. You have to differentiate it. So if you read Soul of Remedies, you will see Sir has given lot of differentiations. That in Lycopodium he says that it comes closer to Nux vomica because Lycopodium he has explained beautifully in the book that Lycopodium is a very ambitious guy. He has this love for power, and he also has written that it is in the loop of calcarea, sulfur, lycopodium. We all know that this is a cycle of psoric remedies. We have to give calcarea, and at some point of time, you have to give sulfur or lycopodium or all three, one by one. But we don't know the reason behind it. So that reason you get to learn from Dr. Sankaran's Soul of Remedies. So he writes that, that's the calcarea, for example, calcarea, sulfur, lyco, all three are psoric remedies. We all know that. Calcarea belongs to a fourth row of periodic table where there is a lot of need to maintain things, dependency. Calcarea is on the left side. That's why it is dependent for security, for stability, for maintenance of finances, which makes a person secure. So this is this is sort of cycle of life where you just come into the life and you need to find that stability. This is how we all live now. We just grow up, take education, and try to find out something which gives us stability, whether it is education or finances or building a house or buying a car or buying any sort of gadget or anything which makes our life easy, non-dependable. But obviously, we are dependent on these gadgets and these things for to feel stable. So this is a loop of calcarea curve where you are dependent on some person or something. Like I know that calcarea, if you see calcarea people, they will tell you that I have taken a lot of insurances or I have taken this indemnity bond or this bond or that bond. And if you ask them that what is the purpose of this in your life or tell me about your nature, they will tell you that this is my nature, doctor. I have to feel secure. Otherwise, I always worry that what if this happens tomorrow? What if that happens tomorrow? If something, uncertain happens, then what will happen to my family, to my business? So this is calcarea. Now, next comes sulfur. Sulfur is not in fourth row, it is in third row of the periodic table, whereas the whole row is looking for identity, for love, for ego. Sulfur has this rubric foolish ego. So sulfur is a stage of development of a human where they need some sort of ego or some sort of identity in life. This can come before calcarea or after calcarea as well. That depends from person to person, where you feel secure and you have your identity, people should know who you are. Like in medicine practice also, we need that sort of fame where people know that okay, we exist and we are homeopaths and we treat this and that. It's neat to know, to be famous or to have some sort of fame, some sort of identity is sulfur. And lycopodium, to get famous, uh, to do some goal oriented activity, to achieve something, both the stages are important. you know you will do a goal oriented activity only if you have some sort of identity, people know you. And after that, you will definitely ask for stability or security. So in lycopodium, sir explains that the person is just stuck in this loop because he wants to be powerful, but he is very afraid of meeting new people, facing new situations. So this is how we understand lycopodium, that lycopodium is a third remedy in this cycle. And in, somewhere sir has written, this is the most syphilitic remedy of all the psoric remedies. I love this sentence. This means that lycopodium is the most, it's the third stage remedy, I would say, in this loop, because it has this love for power, love for ambition. They are very, very ambitious people, but they are not dependent. Okay, they are sometimes they are dictatorial also. We have rubric dictatorial or dictatorship, but not like platinum, not like aurum. They just dictate in a very secured situation. So in their workplace, they will find some people who are, who are able to listen to them. But outside of their comfort zone, they will be very timid because they want to grow, but they are not grown yet. So this is not a very successful sort of situation for them. So, you understand why lycopodium has dictatorship, or why lycopodium has love for ambition, or why they are doing only these sort of activities, because this loop is very well explained in Soul of Remedies. Then, a lot of times it happens that, when you see the patient, you have all the symptoms, but these are more or less common symptoms, and you want to confirm the remedy. So sir has given a lot of rubrics and confirmatory symptoms at the end of each remedy. So in lycopodium, he says it has dilated nostrils. It has cracks on the heels, I guess. So I've always, whenever I give such remedies, I just look into my Soul of Remedies. I just refer those pages and then, look for confirmatory symptoms. This way, Soul has helped me like anything. Um, Similarly, there is one rubric or symptom where he says that it has cough in I guess thin boys. So in thin boys, cough is a very confirmatory symptom of lycopodium, and cough when they look up. So looking up aggravates the cough. This is also a confirmatory symptom. So you can use Soul of Remedies in many ways. First, of course, to understand a remedy, understand the differential remedies which comes closer to that particular medicine. That this will really help you. Second way is which I use, that I use these confirmatory symptoms to just be doubly sure that okay, I'm prescribing on solid physicals, mentals, or whatever symptoms. And that sir has taken from a lot of books, especially Fartak and some from Allen also. And also he gives a very particular or beautiful story in different story or some anecdote, like in Staphylococcus aureus, I remember. In Staphylococcus aureus, he mentions that mentions the story of Mahatma Gandhi, where Mahatma Gandhi was discriminated because he was dark skinned and he was in South Africa, thrown away in the train, from the train, and then still he had to maintain a very high dignity. Till he was not reacting in an angry way, whether it was anger or not, but he reacted in a very peaceful way. And the whole country, even entire world, respects him for that. And that is what Staphylococcus aureus wants. Respect. They indignate themselves a lot. They have pent up anger, suppressed anger, because they feel they are of noble birth. They want to gain respect from people. Self-respect and self-esteem are the most important thing for Staphylococcus aureus. So this is beautifully explained in Soul of Remedies. This you don't get in other books at all. You just get trembling from anger, anxiety, and anticipatory anxiety, and this voice loss during anger. But why it is like that, you get to learn from this book. So I also want to share one of my case where, you know, in the Staphylococcus aureus case only. I just saw a few days back, there was this girl um, who had acne issue. She had a lot of acne on face and back and on buttocks also, some on upper chest. And she was very, very worried about, how she looks. And she said, she's a fashion designer by profession. So she said, I have to put makeup to hide these acne because my profession doesn't allow me to look bad. And I'm really worried that, what will happen to me. She's also, looking for prospects for marriage. So that is also one concern. And when I went deep into it and when I understood her nature, she said, um, Doctor, it is very important for me that people respect me. And sometimes it happens that, my clients come and they are in the wedding season when there's a lot of chaos and people are coming to you and they're just lashing out and shrieking at you that you have not done the job well, or if they are frustrated with whatever, if anything goes wrong, they will come to me and they will say that if the things are not done on time, or even if we are doing on time, but they are, in that mood, so they will say anything on my face or to my team. I just get very angry and I feel very disrespected. I always feel that, oh, how can they talk to me like this? So I said, what do you experience in this situation? And she says that, doctor, I feel hot, heat on my face, and also I cannot speak anything. My voice just disappears. I'm not able to speak, though I want to speak. But then in my mind, I feel that I don't have to answer them back because this is against my dignity. This is not dignified to, say them whatever I want to say. I said, but what do you feel like doing? She said, sometimes I feel like just slapping them. But I don't do this. I don't do it at all. In my 10 years career, I have not done this. And has a very good name. She's very famous designer. But she never does anything. She said, it is below my standard. I have a set standard for myself. My mom has always taught me कि बेटा अपने सम्मान से ज़्यादा important कुछ नहीं है. This is the most important thing. And this reminded me of Staphylococcus aureus. So she had all other symptoms where the dignity is very important, honor is very important, and there was one incident where the client did not get her gown on time, and after that all these acne issues started for her. So when the Staphylococcus aureus was prescribed to her, she was able to actually speak up for herself. Whenever such situation happens, she told me that, earlier I was not able to speak at all. I was not able to share what I wanted to say to them, but now I'm able to share. And she had trembling also, which she did not tell me earlier, but this trembling also reduced, the palpitation reduced. So this is the power of, I guess, understanding situation of a person, and this could happen only through this book. So I'm really, really thankful to Dr. Sankaran for sharing this amazing book with us. Also, I feel, if sir writes one more edition of this book, it would be great thing um, for all of us, because then you understand a lot of things.
True, ma'am, true.
So,
ma'am, thank
like
you.
I said,
Yes,
Staphylococcus
ma'am.
has this fear of being insulted, fear of being, fear of, I guess, mortification. They're all also very sensitive to reprimands. So if someone scolds them, sir has written beautifully in the book that, there is one person who gets reprimanded and goes home and sick and becomes sick and not able to speak up because it's a high standard for them. It's immoral to say things. And like this girl said that, it's below my standard. मैं उनको answer करूँगी तो, it's below my dignity. I can't do that. So this is a situational materia medica of Staphylococcus aureus. So don't read. Also, sir has written in the book that, this we know that Staphylococcus aureus is sexual minded, or they have, suppressed sexual desire. They can ogle at women. But why it is like that? Because of the same thing, that it is immoral to share their sexuality with somebody. So they don't share in order to, just be moral or being very idealistic. So that's why Staphylococcus aureus is in cancer myism. So this cancer myism, just controls everything. So this comes very close to some other remedies like carcinosin. Carcinosin is also a cancer myism. But in Staphylococcus aureus, there is sensitivity because it is a plant kingdom remedy. So a lot of sensitivity and reactivity emotionally, physically. But in carcinosin, it is a no sort. Carcinosin is generally controlled by very strict parents. So this is how you differentiate remedies. And in this differentiation also I have learned from Soul of Remedies. So this is one example. One more remedy I would like to mention, which I have learned very beautifully from this book, that is Calcaria Silicata. And I use this remedy very, very often in my practice, only after reading from this particular book, because it is not a very common salt of Calcaria. We all know Calcaria carp, Calcaria phos, Calcaria sulf, and other calcareas, but not Calcaria silicata. So we know that calcarea is dependent for security, for stability, and silica is very image conscious. So Calcaria silicata is a salt from third and fourth row. And Calcaria silicata is, I don't know, I guess it is in ringworm myism, and it has the features of both the remedies. The sensitivity for this image, which is there in silica, and the sensitivity towards, not the sensitivity, but need for dependence. So we have a remedy who is dependent, but who gets the security or who gets the support from the family. So in Soul of Remedies, you will read that Dr. Sankaran has written that it is a remedy whose parents or a family is very, very demanding yet supportive. So it's not a very common thing. They are demanding, but they find this as an excuse to not achieve anything. They are also looking for achievement. They are also close to Lycopodium and Calcaria. But the only difference is that Calcaria silicata takes this as an excuse that, oh, I was not able to achieve, and the other remedies will try to achieve. Silica is more conscious about its image and what others say. It's not about capability. Silica is not about whether I'm, capable of performing or not, but silica is more concerned about, whether my image is being protected or not. So image is more important than ability in silica. But in Calcaria silicata, they want to achieve, and ऐसा नहीं है that they don't achieve anything, but people expect a lot from them, even their family, but they don't achieve that much. And they will say that, oh, because I was sick, because, I didn't get support. So they have a lot of excuses to tell you for not being able to achieve anything in their life. So that is Calcaria silicata. And like I said, sir has given a lot of confirmatory symptoms. So at the end, you will see some rubrics, some symptoms. So blue line on the gums is a very confirmatory symptom of Calcaria silicata. If you see the gums, they will have blue line. Similarly, one very important thing which I have learned from this book is that Calcaria silicata has sweaty and cold palms, and especially the fingertips. So whenever I want to prescribe this remedy, I would definitely look for this symptom, that whether the fingertips are cold and sweaty. So the soles and palms both are cold and sweaty, but the fingertips are more colder than the rest of the palm. You can just check. I have verified this many times, and it is a great symptom. So that's all what I wanted to share.